Using these 5 bodyweight back moves, you can not only improve your posture, but help prevent neck, shoulder, and upper back aches and pains as you build a strong back. Hey guys, it's Corey from Redefining Strength. When we think about bodyweight back moves, we usually think about the pull-up and inverted row. But what if you don't have access to any equipment? How can you still build a strong back? I want to share with you 5 bodyweight back moves you can do anywhere. These are a great way to not only strengthen your back, but actually improve your posture and protect against neck, shoulder, and upper back aches and pains. So what are these 5 amazing moves? Exercise number 1 is the doorway row. Holding onto a doorway, you can perform a row and use your own body weight as resistance. While you can do this as a bilateral movement, so using both hands to row, I actually like the unilateral variation because not only does it apply more resistance to that single side, but it helps you correct any imbalances you may have. When you pull with just one hand, you can really focus on the activation on that side of your back. You can focus on the movement of your shoulder blade towards your spine. This is a great way to strengthen not only your biceps, but your rhomboids, your lower and mid traps, your lats, even your forearms, especially if you grip with your fingers a little bit more. And when you row with just one side, not only can you work on your anti-rotational core strength, but you can correct any imbalances you might have because your stronger side can't take over. When you do this move, hold a little squat. It will also work your quads a little bit more. As you pull, make sure you're actually pulling with your back and not just using your bicep. It's really easy during rowing movements to overuse our arms and not actually activate our back. So as you pull yourself towards the door frame, make sure to really feel your shoulder blade move towards your spine. That movement is what really engages your back. To make this move more difficult, slow down the tempo of the exercise. Again, you can also use both hands if one hand is too much. If you find that you can sort of do a combination or that one hand is too hard but 2 hands is too easy, you could always do a row in with both hands and then a single arm out. Exercise number 2 is the 2-way scapular push-up. Having mobile and stable shoulder blades is really key to not only preventing neck, shoulder, and upper back aches and pains, but even improving our posture and our ability to row more weight or do more pull-ups. So this move will improve that scapular mobility and stability. It will work not only on your upward rotation and elevation of your shoulder blades, but even on your retraction. With this move, you're basically combining 2 different scapular push-ups into one. It's a great way to also work on your thoracic extension with that downward dog press. To do this move, you're going to set up in that plank position. Your hands will be outside your chest. You're then going to pinch your shoulder blades together. You're not bending your arms, you're not sagging your hips, you're not trying to sell this as a bigger movement than it actually is. You're just drawing your shoulder blades towards your spine. That's going to work your lower and mid traps and also your rhomboids. You'll then press back out so that your shoulder blades protract a little bit. As you come back into that plank position, you're then going to push your butt up in the air to go back into downward dog. From here, you want to think about pushing the ground away to elevate your shoulder blades and even upwardly rotate them. This is going to work your serratus anterior. By working your scapula through the full range of motion, you're going to get more benefits and really strengthen your back and improve your shoulder health. To modify this movement, you can start off a bench. Just make sure that you're not trying to get a bigger range of motion by actually moving your hips or by shrugging your shoulders or coming forward during the downward dog. It's a very small movement and you really want to focus only on the movement of your shoulder blades. This is a great prep move so that when you get back to doing pull-ups and weighted rows, you can make sure that your back is actually powering the exercise and then you don't end up with neck or shoulder pain. Exercise number 3 is the towel pull down. If you don't have a towel in your house, you can literally use this shirt off your back. If you don't even have a shirt on your back, I will tell you how to do this move with just body weight lying on the ground. However, hopefully you have a towel lying around that you can use. The reason I like using a towel for this move is because of the tension it creates to help us better activate our back. When you can't do pull-ups, this pull down is a great way to really work on your lat strength and also work on your scapular depression. Working on our scapular depression for our pull-up work is super key to preventing neck and shoulder pain as well as elbow aches and pains. Plus, having proper scapular depression can help us do more reps of pull-ups as we build up. Pulling out on the towel to create that tension, you then want to pull the towel down to your chest. Really think about opening your chest up towards the ceiling as you do the pull down. Think about the movement of your shoulder blades. You want to be drawing your shoulder blades down and back as if you're pulling them down towards your back pockets. This is the scapular depression that will activate your back and help you use your lats efficiently. Then you're going to extend back overhead, straightening your arms up. Do not arch your lower back, even though you want to focus on opening your chest up and extending your spine. You can also do this move lying on the ground, with or without the towel. If you do this lying on the ground, you want to put your spine in a slight extension, lifting your chest slightly off the ground. You'll extend your arms out overhead. You'll feel the backs of your shoulders or that posterior delt really working to stabilize and lift your arms off the ground. Then think about driving your elbows down and back into your sides to really engage your back. Part of this movement is focusing on what you feel working and using that mind-body connection to really activate those muscles. When you do this lying down, just make sure that you don't engage your lower back. Exercise number 4 is the plank row to wing. I love this move because of the anti-rotational core benefits as well as the shoulder stability benefits. Because this is an anti-rotational plank, you're going to work your abs and obliques, not to mention your shoulders and upper back. By adding in the wing, you're also going to work on your shoulder mobility and shoulder health. You'll feel even the muscles around your ribcage or that serratus anterior working as well to stabilize. For this move, really focus on what you feel working. You're going to row that arm up towards your side. Don't just use your bicep to pull the hand up. Focus on your back actually working and your shoulder blade moving towards your spine. A lot of the benefit of this move is actually that mind-body connection and focusing on activating those muscles. Once you row your hand up to your side, you're going to extend your arm out at your side and then slowly rotate so that the back of your hand comes behind your lower back. This movement will work on your shoulder stability and mobility. It's also, again, going to challenge your core to prevent rotation. It's really tempting to rotate open as you do this, or to try and rush the movement because you're losing balance. But focus on packing that standing shoulder so that you're really engaging that upper back to support that shoulder as you prevent rotation. Because it is an anti-rotational move, you're even going to feel your quads and glutes working. Make sure to drive back through those heels. Because it's a more challenging movement, you might want to start off a bench to regress that plank. After going through that row to the wing, you're going to want to switch sides. By alternating sides, you're going to force your core to work really hard to keep stabilizing as you alternate. With this move, you'll not only work your abs, obliques, glutes, and quads, but you'll focus on the rotator cuff as well as your posterior delt and your upper back, especially your mid and lower traps and your rhomboids. Exercise number 5 is a scapular wall row. This is one of my favorite rows to do with just your own body weight because it takes the biceps out of it. So if you find that you often use your arms when you're doing rowing movements, this is a great way to really ingrain that row and focus on the scapular movement. Plus, because all you need is a wall, you can basically do it anywhere. It's even a great move to do if you've been sitting for a long time hunched over your computer and you want to improve your posture and even prevent neck and shoulder aches and pains. With this move, you're almost performing more of a press. You're driving off your elbows to push away from the wall. The added benefit of this move is that you can actually engage your glutes as well to drive your hips into extension because you're basically holding a plank against the wall. Focus on that movement again of the shoulder blades back towards your spine and really driving the elbows back to push out. Think about opening up your chest as you press off the wall. It's a great move to prevent neck, shoulder, and upper back aches and pains. You'll work on your mid traps especially as well as your rhomboids. It'll even work your posterior delt. And again, if you often feel your arms during other rowing movements, this is a great way to really isolate your back and establish that mind-body connection. If you squeeze your glutes during this move, you'll also get a little added glute activation benefit and work on hip extension, which is so key if you're spending so much time seated hunched over a computer. Be very careful about moving further away from the wall when you're first doing this. It can be really tempting to try and move further away to make the movement harder, but a lot of times what that ends up doing is stressing out our upper traps more and not allowing us to actually focus on that scapular retraction. If for some reason you don't have a wall nearby, you can also do this lying on the ground. Just make sure you don't turn it into a crunch if you do it off the floor. Using these 5 bodyweight back moves, you can not only improve your posture, but help prevent neck, shoulder, and upper back aches and pains as you build a strong back. They can also be even great activation moves to include in your lifting sessions or when you're working on your pull-ups. If you liked the video, make sure to like it, comment below if you have any questions, and subscribe. We're posting new videos each week.